come alive. Come on in, let's thrive and jive. In this moment we find our groove. On the swivel at the sports bar, cheering loud, feeling like a star. Good times, laughter, and every score. On the swivel, come back for more. Ooh, come back for more. Ooh, come back for more. Tasty treats and soulful sounds. Feel the rhythm, it's where joy's found. Ooh, with every cheer we come alive. Come on in, let's thrive and jive. In this moment we find our groove. Ooh, on the swivel at the sports bar, cheering loud, feeling like a star. Good times, laughter, and every score. On the swivel, come back for more. Swing on by, don't miss the fun. At the sports bar, the best begun. Ooh, come back for more. 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 Come back for more.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to On the Swivel at the Sports Bar. You know, this is where we spend 1 hour talking about as much sports as we can and fit it all in there. So anyhow, maybe some of my boys might come up, maybe they won't. If not, we'll do it solo. So anyway, let's just see what we are. We start with some football because we know that's coming up. Labor Day is upon us. And so we know right after Labor Day on the 4th, I believe, Thursday night kicks off the football season. But let's see where we are now. Well, let's start out with an idiot, Tyreek Hill, an idiot who married this chick. And this always ends badly for, a lot of the brothers. They find these exotic looking, women, know what race they are, whatever the hell they are. And these women otherwise would probably never even talk to these dudes if they weren't rich. So this chick latches on to him, has a baby, and after 1 year of marriage, she's, let's just let people see how much of an idiot this guy really is. He could have had all the goodies. He could have had all this shit. He did never have to marry this woman. You could even gave her a baby, right? So he marries this chick without a prenup. Just because he's a football player doesn't mean he has to be such an asshole. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. That shit is a bad stereotype. You're into millions and millions. You all around you, you see men being destroyed by this fucking scrags, and you're gonna marry somebody you probably barely know. So here goes what's happening.
What's going on, guys? Jada Black here. Shout out to everybody. Son, I want to talk about this story that is starting to go viral to make its rounds. Tyreek Hill, NFL player, wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins. He has now, it looks like, settled his divorce or in the process of finalizing it. And the details have come out. And it does not look good for him. This is a guy who is moving towards the back end of his NFL career. He's over the age of 30. He was in a situation where he was looking to be traded from Miami. And you just never know how long, or he doesn't know how long he's going to be able to play at a high level and make that type of money. He's a wide receiver. You don't see a lot of wide receivers making big money when they reach close to their mid-30s. I don't think he's there yet, but we have to keep this in mind for the conversation piece. His ex-wife, Keita Vaccaro, she, I don't know who his lawyers were. I don't know who her lawyers were, but he definitely got hosed in this settlement. Now, I could think of a few reasons as to why she's getting such she's getting, basically she's getting whatever she's probably asking for. She's getting over 50,000. Now, I want y'all to understand this. They said that her child support was going to be from a range of 50,000 to, I think, 90,000. I'm gonna have to go look at that. I saw one post say that no. It was going to be between 20,000 and 50,000. So I almost had that wrong. And that is for one child. I want y'all to understand this. Keita just had a child with him less than 2 years ago. They have only one child together, but she's going to get between a range of 20,000 to 50,000 every month for one child. And y'all want to know why I'm not a supporter of marriage? I can almost guarantee you she talked him into marrying her. She wanted marriage. And the reason why I think that their marriage ended the way that it did is because I think he realized he made a stupid mistake.
Yeah. Listen, man, that's not why the marriage ended. She made it impossible for him to stay married because I would imagine, I don't know if he filed or she filed. Maybe I should have looked that up. But listen, it's going to cost him $12 million to raise that kid, right? If you just take the high end, that's $6 million, that's $600,000 a year for this, let's say 20 years, right? So it's going to cost him $12 million. Now, it might seem like, that 90 million, his contracts are huge, but he's not taking all that money home. She's, so she's getting, out of the gross. She's taking, 20 million off the top. Properties, cars. I mean, you can't be that stupid. There's nothing that a woman can offer you that is worth that kind of money. There's just nothing, and you could have had all the juice and all this. Now he's going to say something about why he gave in. Let's listen to that because I'm going to just spell that as well.
Trying to make an honest woman out of her, trying to make her happy. So he marries her with no prenup. And now he's in a situation where he's going to be paying this heifer between $20,000 and $50,000 a month in child support so that he can divorce her and have a relationship with his daughter. Because the reason why he's agreed to this is because he wants to have a relationship with his child. And you know how vengeful these heifers are when they're no longer in relationship with these guys and they know and the guy is not giving her what she wants.
Listen, I tell you, I hear what he's saying, but one, men need to stop saying this. Because with his means, I could still make her life a living hell if I can't see my kids. There's laws against her withholding the kids. It's just, the only reason why that shit goes bad is because I think men give up. Not that you have to keep going back to court, but he has the means to say, listen, if there's an agreement about how often you see your kids and she keeps breaking it, she's breaking the law. Now, you can be a pinata and let her keep getting away with it, or you go for the juggler each time she goes against the court order. So I wouldn't listen, there's no guarantee that she won't be fucked up even if he gives her all the money. So the money's not going to buy a hoe like that. It just doesn't. So he's just another cautionary tale. And I guess black men are not a cautionary tales anyway, because there's just too many of us, and I say us because I'm black, who continuously marry ambiguous looking women or just any woman at all with everything on the line with no fiscal responsibility or protection. In this country, it's the stupidest shit a man could possibly do. It's just dumb. And it's just, he's got to have fellas who've been taken to the bank. I'm not even rich. I know guys who've been taken to the bank from the middle class, lower class, upper class. You can't marry a woman these days without a prenup. Even though I'm married, people get on me for not having a prenup, even though I got married in 1987. And I wasn't rich back then. But if my wife left me now, man, I'd be destitute. So you're just butt wide open to the American system, and it's broken. It's broken big time. She doesn't deserve this kind of happiness. Absolutely not.
This is why I'd say athletes should not, under no circumstances, marry these women while they are active in their playing careers. It makes no sense, because you just never know when it's all over. And when your career is over, you're going to see that woman really don't want to be with you like that. She only wanted to be with you because you are an NFL player or an NBA player. We see this constantly.
I think guys like this in this age, they shouldn't get married at all. They should never marry a woman. I would write up, some kind of contractual partnership agreement. And if I wanted kids, I would go surrogacy route. I'd pay a woman $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, whatever it is, and get lawyers to draw it up, because there's couples who get surrogates and stuff like that. I'd go through the surrogacy route, get children, hire an au pair, and whatever. But I would not marry an American woman. No, not if I'm rich. But not without one of the most ironclad prenups I could possibly have. And that would be a stretch too. I just think it's just a bad financial deal these days for men to get married. And I'm an advocate for marriage, but it's just, how many dead bodies do we have to see in our wake to know that marriage is a bad deal for men? Just a very, very bad deal. So anyway, that's enough of that. So what's next? All right. So listen, the big cuts are coming up. From that to the final cuts before the start of the NFL season. So there's some names in here, and there's a lot of names I don't recognize, but they got to whittle down the rosters to 53 people, 53 players before the start of the season. So here's the whittling process. This guy's just rattling off names. So I was trying to look for a good kind of summary of who got cut in the final days. So I think this guy does a good job. I'll probably put the content creators link just in the description, just to give them credit for this.
The final cuts have been made and a lot of big-time players were released. The Giants released Tommy Cutlets. The Commanders released the hottest quarterback in football, Sam Hartman. The Steelers released veteran wide receiver Robert Woods. Browns released veteran wide receiver Deontay Johnson. The Giants are releasing tight end Greg Dulcich. The Texans are releasing tackle Trent Brown. Titans are waiving my boy Xavier Restrepo. Saints are terminating the contract of Clyde Edwards-Helaire. The Cowboys released Deuce Vaughn. Packers released former 8th overall pick Isaiah Simmons. Packers released Mecole Hardman. Buccaneers released guard Michael Jordan. The Chiefs released fullback Carson Steele. Seahawks released Damian Martinez. This guy's a stud. The Bengals released quarterback Desmond Ridder. Did anyone else know he played for the Bengals? Colts released tight end Jelani Woods. Saints are waiving quarterback Jake Hayner. Chargers cut quarterback DJ Ukulele. Falcons released former first rounder CJ Henderson. Panthers released Hunter Renfrow. Seahawks released Marquez Valdes-Scantling. 49ers released Jeff Wilson. Patriots released former first rounder Cole Strange. Bills released wide receiver KJ Hamler. Eagles released wide receiver Aeneas Smith. Panthers released Shy Tuttle. Texans released safety Jalen Mills. Jets released Ryan Clark's son Jordan Clark. Commanders released wide receiver KJ Osborne. Dolphins released wide receiver Eric Ezukama. Falcons released quarterback Easton Stick. Dolphins released wide receiver Theo Wees. Commanders released linebacker Duke Riley. Jaguars released linebacker Chad Muma. The Bills released Laviska Shenault Jr. Falcons released Ronnie Harrison. Dolphins released linebacker Quentin Bell. Jets released tackle Carter Warren. 49ers released Tariq Owens. The Jets released Malachi Corley. The Saints are waiving Isaiah Foskey. The Steelers are releasing DeMarvin Leal. Buccaneers are waiving Trey Palmer. Ravens released Jalen Armour Davis. Browns released kicker Dustin Hopkins. 49ers released Russell Gage. Chargers released Tony Jefferson. Texans are releasing former first rounder Damian Arnett. 49ers released Robbie Chosen. Steelers released Beanie Bishop. Dolphins waive Grayson Murphy. Dolphins released Channing Tindall. 49ers released Isaiah Hodgins. Texans released Harrison Bryant. Falcons waived cornerback Kobe Bryant.
Well, that was a good, I think that was a good, rundown of who got released. My man, he was on top of it. So that's cool. So now we know who got released in the last few days. So let me say, so one more. We're going to talk about week 1 in college football is coming up. So we're talking about college football now. So we're looking at a couple of matchups. We see 3 matchups here. And I was going to click it, but the Ohio State goes up against Texas, right? And then, of course, it's Notre Dame against Miami. What do they say? I guess Catholics against cons or some shit like that from back in the day. That was terrible, but that was true back in those days, a 2 Live crew. And then, of course, LSU against Clemson. So these are the 3 games to start 3. I mean, these are big games. Now, I believe there's 12 teams that make the playoffs this year coming up. So 1 loss or 2 losses doesn't eliminate you anymore. And so now the one good thing that, the increased playoff possibilities have done for college football, it makes the matchups better because one and done in the beginning of the season is not true anymore. So you'll get a chance to recover. So I think that's cool, but let's not make football turn into the NCAA to where we got 100 teams making the playoffs and anybody could be on a good streak. All of a sudden, a bad team wins the championship because they won 3 or 4 good games in a row. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't play football like you play basketball. The NCAA tournament has been so watered down that it's just crazy. Even if it wasn't for betting, I don't think people would be watching the way they do. Even though college football has its own little charm, March Madness is a big thing. But I think betting and all of that kind of stuff keeps it popular. So when they expanded it to these ungodly, like 128 teams now, there's some shit like there's some crazy amount of teams, get into the tournament. And then the tournament dwindles down to where you get to 64 and all that kind of shit. But it's not as exciting as it used to be, right? How many times would a 15th place team beat a number 1, or something like that? I mean, it's very, very rare, as it should be. But so football should never get that watered down. So we know the big matchups coming up. So that's kind of exciting for the opening football season to see these 3 games. And there's probably going to be other games you can see on your own that are some interesting matchups. But these are the top 3 that I saw. All right. So let's go on to the NBA. What's going on? Russell Westbrook is calling it quits. Yes, and unfortunately, all of the accolades that he deserves, he's not going to get because he didn't get a stupid ring. Right. And of course, everybody knows rings are important. But, those 3 years where he led in triple doubles, he averaged a triple double. That shit is legendary. I mean, if that doesn't make him a first ballot Hall of Famer, then he's got enemies that he shouldn't have in the voting booth. There's no doubt about it. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he should be a unanimous pick to go into the Hall of Fame. He wasn't just a good point guard. He was a great point guard, a great guard, period. And maybe took a few bad shots. But, when they said he was padding the stats with those triple doubles, that he won 75% of those games. The team won 75%, 70 to 75% of those games. You could look it up. Especially the first year he did, the second year, something like that. They were winning a lot of games. Just couldn't win the big one. It was all. So Durant was on those teams too, right? A lot of those teams. But then he really had to stretch his wing without Durant. Okay, Angel Reese. I mean, for what it's worth, she set a record with a new NBA record. We got to give her some props. I mean, she still looks bad sometimes. She had a stretch there where she was actually playing really coordinated basketball, even under the basket. She was throwing the ball out, and when she was doing those second chance shots, she actually took shots under control as opposed to just throwing the ball at the basket. And then she kind of fell back to her old ways. But consistent, the thing that was consistent is that she was rebounding. She gets a lot of rebounds. And even though she gets the rebounds, she's also getting some critical rebounds that she, not just offensively, but defensively. Her overall game still needs to improve, but a records are records are records, right? If she's got, if she leads the league in the number of double doubles in a year, she's broken that record. I think that's the record. Nobody has more double doubles in a single season than she does. So not only is she a fashionista, she could play some basketball. She's got holes in her game, but those things you can improve. You can improve your moves down low. I think she needs to strengthen her legs, though. I think her legs are, they're pretty. Her legs are pretty. She probably should try to put some muscle in them, in those legs, those calves, thighs, so she can have a better foundation when she makes those moves down low. And let me tell you, the athletic legs are pretty too. They don't have to just be smooth and no tone in them. So I think she's needs a trainer to get that part together. But we'll see, man. She's young. She's very young, and we'll see how long she's around. And maybe somebody can help her shut up a little bit and see life from a broader standpoint as opposed to, a diva. Some of that shit never goes away. So more power to her. More power to her. All right, so here's the standings. All right, so we're coming down to the stretch. Her team is in 12th place. Of course, they're not going to make the playoffs. And the Fever, without Caitlin Clark, is still in 6th place. And I think that's where they'll end up. They won 20 games. Now, I think with Caitlin, I just think that there's more to the story why she's not back. She's not back. I think they're holding her out on purpose for some reason, to see where the league can eat. What's the equilibrium of the league without her front and center? And it's not good, And I think that if she came back with the numbers coming back, that will strengthen the players in the CBA negotiation. So without Caitlin there, the numbers are more back to normal, and their bargaining chip, even though the players don't fucking recognize how important Caitlin is to the league, but when her not playing, their bargaining chip is a lot lower because the numbers don't justify the raises they want. They already turned down 4 times what they're already getting. But that, and still the league is not projecting to make a profit either. So all the money they pay out to the players comes out of the liability column, all of it. They're not sharing any earnings with the players because there aren't any earnings. They're just paying them as bills. Anyway, so that's what that is. Baseball, until somebody asked me, the only thing I cared about baseball is that the season is too long. What's going on? What's happening? Bird, can you hear me? What's going on, man?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, man. Yeah, so you came. I was talking about, you missed I don't know if you heard it, but Tariq Hill's wife is leaving him. Right?
Yeah.
$50,000 a month.
That's what she want. Is that what she get?
No. That's what she's getting.
Oh, well. They choose them little light skins. They choose them little light skins, bright skins. They go crazy over and then look. They always taking them for their money. So.
Always. And 1 year of marriage.
Yeah, well.
They got one kid, 1 year of marriage. He lost the marital home, everything. The guy's an idiot. No prenup.
No. They see them little light skin, white skins, and they losing their mind. They forego. Now, if that was a sister, oh, now she's a gold digger.
Oh,
Come
this
on.
chick is a gold digger too, man. People are cursing her out, man. She
Well,
don't care. You know, she did it, man. She's smiling like hell, man. Hey, man, we're waiting for Travis Hunter, but man, yeah, how could you know? I don't know what it is, Coach. There's something wrong with men, man. There's something wrong with men.
You grew up in a time where you were proud to be who you were. The
Okay,
people around you were proud to be who you were, who they were. From the time I became adult age, people were always into this light skin, dark skin thing. And most of the dark skinned people, they didn't like who they were. They didn't like who they were at all.
That was worse in my time than it is in your time.
But I pain, you was still black and you was proud.
Yeah, but that's when the song came out. Okay. So we had I'm Black and I'm Proud. We had James Brown. We had some shit.
But people around you, the adults around you, were proud to be who they were. They represented proud black people.
So you
not today. Not today, I pain, because a man's self-esteem is low.
Oh, a lot of men's self-esteem is low. $90 million don't get you no self-esteem.
Nope. That's why those dudes leave with their money and they get the results they get.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I mean, we would do that. If he didn't have that money, this chick wouldn't have looked at him twice.
Not at all. Even Kevin Hart.
Not at all. Not at all. And so listen, she had enough of him hunching on her and shit. Now that she got the marriage with no prenup, right? She said, okay, no more hunching for you. Now I can go get me a pretty boy and I can do what I want. I can leave your ugly ass over here. Because he is also very volatile. They've had some disputes and so she said, I don't need this shit. I could just take the money and run. That's what she did. He's such an asshole. I mean, I don't know why I take it so personal every time I see these guys, because it's like nobody learns nothing. It's not like it's a hidden fact that women destroy men's, go after men's money in marriages, whether the man did anything or not. And they don't deserve it. The women just don't deserve it. They shouldn't be rewarded like that.
A lot of these guys don't listen to other guys telling them. They don't listen to guys warning them like, man, listen, man, she ain't who. No, I mean, I'm in love. You finally got that light-skinned girl, and now you in love with her.
You got that ambiguous-looking chick, man. It always ends badly. It always ends. If you ain't Steph Curry, you can't keep one of them. You got to be one of those kind of guys yourself.
Steph Curry gonna have problems too once he's out of the league.
I don't think so.
Aisha Curry gonna be out there.
Nah, I don't think so. She's having another baby.
That don't mean nothing. That lengthens the funds. That's another 18 years of funds.
Okay. So you think she's gonna cut out on him like his mother did to her husband, right? So I you know what? I hear you, but I don't read that. I really don't.
But these women seek attention. A lot of young women now, they seek the attention. She's going to get her money. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Okay, she seek attention, but every year she's getting a little bit more mature, right?
Well, listen, they play the long game, man. They know how to play the long game, my man.
That's true. That's true, like a motherfucker. They play the long game, man.
They go like this Tyreek Hill's wife. She gonna get a divorce. By next year, she gonna come out with her podcast. Right. And she could be telling women how miserable marriage is and men are abusive, making brothers look bad again. And Tyreek Hill, at that point, is going to become a journeyman in the
Yes. This last contract he has is probably his biggest and last one. Yeah. I mean, he'll get another contract, but it's not going to be this lucrative because he's like well into his 30s now, 33, 30, something like that. And he's not that easy to get along with. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, anyway, so here's the baseball home run derby, man. This guy Cal's looking like he's trying to run away with it.
Yeah, he might get up to 60. They got another month of baseball left, so
yeah. So yeah, if he's doing his thing, man. So all right. So what we got next, bro? This is baseball standings, man. I just keep posting the updates, man. They look like the Mets. Every time I turn it looks like the Mets are falling further behind. And the Yankees in third place now, again, being shit. And they might not make the playoff.
I told you, man, they falling. Man. Last week they was in second. Now they dropped down. They gonna continue to drop. They gonna manage it.
Yeah. Well, there you go. And what's next? All right. So Big Three. Last week, this is championship this week coming up. August 24th, they got another, like the third, I guess, big against team 3. So they got 2 games. And then the championship game, is the Chicago against Miami. And that's on the August 24th. So damn, league came and went, man.
Man, I don't know what happened. They got more endorsers, more exposure. And I only caught 1 week.
Well, but they got a crowd of people who are dedicated, man. So the casual fan is not watching the Big Three. There's got to be, they're on CBS, I believe. So they got like main, So I don't know. Just because I'm not watching it, don't mean they ain't successful. They're making money. It ain't going nowhere. It seems like they're making enough money for Ice Cube to make that horrible ass movie. Shit. He got time to make that movie. So anyway, I might watch I think I'm gonna catch the championship. Yeah. So that's something. Okay. So hey, listen. So the U.S. Open started, tennis Open. I saw a couple of matches, but I'm just tracking the Americans. Do you know that for qualifying, there was 25 men and 25 women from America all the way up until the first couple of rounds, and now it's only 4 men left and only 5 women left from America. So I recognize of course, we got golf and Madison Keys, and so I recognize some of the ladies. And this dude, Ben Shelton, and Francis Tiafoe. Say that again.
I'm saying, America's players are doing pretty good to be this deep into the.
Yes, it's only second. It's only going into the third round.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, some of them knocked each other off too. They had some Americans go head to head, of course. So anyhow, it's beginning of the U.S. Open. I start to get into it, once we get to the third and fourth round quarterfinals. I kind of track Coco Gauff. A lot of times if she's out, I lose interest. But, we'll see. I got to find some other players I like. All right, Joy Taylor. Joy Taylor's she just continues her meltdown. Let's see a little bit of
what's going on, guys. Jada Black here. Salute to everyone that's tuning in. This video might be edited a different way. I don't know how I'm going to edit this video before I put it out due to some issues on the channel. But I want to talk about Joy Taylor. Joy Taylor had a lot to say in this Cam Newton interview. I don't know why people are interviewing her. I understand that, she's a woman who was caught up in a very bad lawsuit. Also, she's a woman who says provocative things without thinking. And, Cam is a guy who wants to be like Shannon Sharp. He wants to have his own version of Club Shay Shay. Let's be real. The whole setup is even similar, right? Nothing against Cam at all, but that's, similarities. Well, she had some things to say. And one of the things she said was she mentioned how there were male celebrities who were in her DMs who were asking her, can they hit? Can they have relations with her? Now, this is according to her. They were in her DM saying these things. And she was perplexed because why were these men, in her words?
Well, you know what? Why would she be perplexed? I mean, she promotes herself as a pretty much like a succubus, right? A sex goddess. I mean, all she does is talk about sex, get banged down. Why would she be surprised that men want to hit her? Now, I think she's more surprised that they exposed themselves to her, putting themselves at risk of her telling people. But that hasn't really been her mode too much. She knows that she might blow an opportunity if she's talked too much.
Bold enough.
What you gonna say?
She also knows the door is closing for her to get the top notch. This is how they stay relevant. How did she get in the position she got in anyway?
Oh man, she banged the marketing, the program director, for her whole career.
So now, you know what I'm saying? Of course, guys are going to be coming at you for that. That's how you made a living. And you're surprised. It makes no sense. But see, now you
go ahead.
See, for a lot of reasons, man, we work ass backwards, as the old people used to say. Now you want to be all virtuous and all of these things. We should have did that shit at the prime of your life. Now you're trying to get virtuous now. And they see one thing I noticed, that people see the window closing, but they never will admit it. They won't admit it.
Yeah, you're right. But the thing is that the little twist is that she's not. I thought it this way too. She's not really surprised they want to sleep with her. She's surprised that they would put their name on it and give her the evidence against them if she wanted to out them. Yeah. And why would they trust her with not trying to put them on blast? Mm-hmm. And that's where it comes in, because these are important men that might come in useful in the future. And if you put them on blast, you close the door.
Yes.
Right. So that's how she's thinking about it, I think.
To do this, did they not fear exposure? I'm going to tell y'all why these men didn't fear any exposure. But I want to also get to what she had to say about Jason Whitlock real quick. Y'all know Jason Whitlock is a very controversial guy. He is a guy that tends to rub a lot of people the wrong way. And she had a lot to say about him, right? Insults and things of that nature. You could just tell Joy is very thin-skinned. And for some reason, she's more angry at Jason Whitlock than herself for getting caught up in that lawsuit, right? Having it exposed everywhere that she was sleeping with the network executive for years, since she started at Fox Sports, right? She got her job because she was laying on her back, according to the lawsuit. I'm not putting anything out there that isn't already out there. And she has never denied that. If she has, y'all can let me know. But I haven't heard her deny any of that. There was a reason why Fox Sports got rid of every show that Chuck Dixon had any involvement in. Got rid of him, got rid of the shows he did and the people who worked on those shows. Joy Taylor was one of them. Okay, they fired her. They didn't let her contract ride out. They fired her. They fired her, Emmanuel Acho. I spoke about that in the video. But she's upset and she's saying all these things. And what I want to know is, Joy, you are saying that these celebrity men are out here hitting your DMs, telling you that they want to hit. You know why they're doing that, Joy? Because they know that you are a very loyal side chick. Very loyal side chick. You are a side chick to Chuck Dixon, who was a married man at the time of the affair, according to a lawsuit. And you were his side chick. And during the years of you being this man's side chick, according to the lawsuit, you didn't have a boyfriend. That was like one relationship you were in where you were engaged. That was early in your Fox Sports tenure, but that dissolved quickly. And according to the lawsuit, there were people who knew about it. Like the woman who worked, I believe, in makeup, right? She was a makeup artist or stylist or whatever her title was. I'm gonna just say Fox Sports employee number one. Okay, Fox Sports employee number one, who put up the lawsuit. Who Fox Sports.
The one thing I want him to say, and he's gonna get to, but we could go on, listen, you know what, Coach, the thing about Joy in this situation is that she said if it came to it, she would say that Dixon, sexually harassed her. That's in a lawsuit, right? She said, if worse came to worse, she would say this whole affair was because he forced himself on her. So she was ready, and that's in a lawsuit. I mean, this chick has no scruples whatsoever, and she's cute, but she has to really work at it. You can tell that if she let herself go, she'll blow up like a balloon. And good.
I guarantee you those men in her DMs were white men. If they was me and you, she would have exposed us 2 years ago.
Yeah,
she know exactly what she's doing. She don't want to blow opportunities in the future. You know what I'm saying? But
exactly. So that's enough of Joy Taylor, man. So she's out, but it's a sad, but that's what women do. That's her meltdown. What's next? All right, man. Did you know how smart this guy was? This guy, man, is near genius category, man. Jaylen Brown. Yeah, he's a smart dude, man. He real quick.
Jaylen Brown's resume might be the most ridiculous in NBA history. There is a reason NBA scouts were downgrading him when he came out of Cal because they felt he was too smart. Back in high school, Jaylen Brown was Mr. Georgia basketball, but he also graduated at the top of his class. He chose Cal, an academic school, over blue bloods like Kentucky and Kansas. Immediately upon arriving, he enrolled in graduate-level courses and made the varsity chess team. He also learned multiple languages like Spanish and Arabic. Despite him also being Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, his brain freaked out scouts. When Boston took him 3rd overall, the pick was widely graded as one of the worst in the draft. None of it ended up mattering. At 22 years old, he became the youngest VP of the NBA Players Union, and then he really started cooking. He was named an MIT Media Lab Fellow and became the youngest person ever to lecture at Harvard. NASA wasn't to be outdone, though. They offered him an internship in 2021. A year later, he made his first finals, and in 2023, he was up for the largest contract in NBA history. While he and his agent were in the middle of negotiations, Jaylen was teaching a robotics session at MIT. Now, I'm not sure when he started learning or how good he is, but just as the cherry on top here, he also plays piano and guitar. Follow if you enjoyed. Jaylen Brown's
he does look like a smart dude though, right? So he was kicking it.
Yeah, he's very strong mentally, man. I was they had him mic'd up during one of Boston's games in the playoffs.
Okay.
And he was talking, he was talking out loud, but he was talking about what he was doing. He was like, breathe through it, stay under control. You know what I'm saying? He was telling his teammates, breathe through it, relax, stay under control. It's supposed to be this way. We're going to be okay. And he went out, he had a monster game. The team, won the game. So,
they say the team is Tatum's, but I can see him being the mentor to Tatum as opposed to the other way around.
Tatum got the light skin that they like over, but Jaylen Brown is the heart and soul of the team. If they got rid of Jaylen Brown, Boston they probably wouldn't make the playoffs.
No, I hear you. I do. I hear you. I do. Anyway, man, they got to let's see how they come back this year. So they finally popped the question, man. Yeah, Kelsey and Taylor Swift gonna get married. Ain't that something? Yeah,
man,
you know what? Go ahead.
Her eggs are drying up too, man. She want a baby.
She what, 37?
I don't know. She gonna have something. They gonna do something.
Yeah. I mean, I got a question on that coming up though. Let me go ahead and find out. How old is Taylor Swift?
35 years old.
She's not too old yet. She's 35. Some eggs, she still got a few eggs.
She probably pregnant now, and that's why they did the engagement. Because they don't just go into being baby mamas like that. They hey, you want to marry me with this baby coming? I wouldn't be surprised if they announced it sometime.
She's the one with the money, man. So listen, I just think I think it's probably just her time. She's fooled around enough. Made songs about the dudes and shit like that. It was time for her to settle down. And so I got a question. Let's jump right in. So now that Travis is marrying Taylor, I misspelled Taylor Swift. Anybody check on the black chick, Kayla Nicole? You think she's, on suicide watch?
I don't think so, man. She probably mad, ready to beat up Taylor Swift.
Crying about this guy every time I see her, it's still attached somehow to this dude, But she hasn't. I haven't heard her with no man since her zaddy left.
Mm-hmm.
She just said, I got a taste of white zaddy and I can't go back. So it's a lie. If you go black, you can't go back. She went white. She knew it was right.
She went white, can't get right. but she tasted the pie. She's been in box seats now. She's been first class travel. So she's gonna always try to live in that life, regardless. She's gonna hold on to it. And anybody else, they're gonna have to pay to play. But her heart is still with Kelsey. That's where her heart is. So
there's no doubt about it. Women don't know how to go backward. Once they're used to something, everything else is settling.
And Cam Newton ought to be ashamed of himself.
Why you say that?
Come on, our pain, man. What do we look like trying to fight a dude?
Let's go back to the first one. Yeah, man. Cam Newton, he actually wants to fight Jason Whitlock.
See what I'm saying? That's weak as hell. That's weak as hell.
It's over Joy Taylor.
That's weak as hell, man. Come on, man.
It's really weak, man. Cam Newton, Cam Newton can't play football, but he's still pretty much in his prime fighting age.
Man, come on. I wish a 38-year-old would hit me. Guess what? Your ass going to jail. Your dog going to jail. You're going to pay me restitution for the rest of your life. That's what it is.
Yeah, Jason Whitlock was funny about it. He said, man, listen, you want me because I said something about the peanut butter skin and, it's a big rack of peanut butter skin. Whitlock is funny. Joy Taylor came after him too. Said, nobody wants you, big diabetes bastard, blah, blah, blah. That's it's crazy, man. But Cam Newton, what the hell you put yourself in? He sound like an ass. Even though Cam Newton, I see a lot of his shows. He's at that 4th and 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not bad. It's not bad because his sidekick is pretty cool. What I forgot his name, Penny or some shit like that.
Yeah, when he's on his own podcast, I think he's drawn into the feminist movement because
no doubt.
He doesn't even challenge any woman about what they say about black men.
He's a feminist.
He just sits up there with his legs crossed with them tight ass shorts on, pants on. Talking about that's not a fashion statement, brother. That's that he could be one of Cam. To me, Cam could be one of those 6'5" down lows to me. I don't know, but man. You just don't dress like that. I guess to me, coming out as a man, I'm not giving you anything to think that I'm suspect.
And I hear you. I do. I mean, his whole career went down when he started going exotic like that. I thought he started losing, respect in the locker room and all that, man. He's a big guy, and but he let these women come up. Every time they go on his show, they dress as provocatively as they possibly can.
Yeah, they always show them tickle bitties to him.
Yeah, man. The skirts are short, the tits are coming out, man, as best they can. And then he has some of the most controversial chicks that you say, if I'm gonna have her on, I'm challenging this bitch, man, because but he doesn't. I don't see. Some people say that's good interviewing style.
No, it's not.
No, I think some people say you want them to say what they have and let the audience judge. And as you just want to bring it out of them. You're not there.
Yeah, but when they point the finger at him, he has a whole lot of pushback. He has a whole lot to say then, because he's no different than you and I. He just may have a little bit more money,
right, and
just has the the platform. But if you're seeing that, I don't know, again, he can do what he want to do, but
No, you know,
they make blanket statements. Most of those women make blanket statements.
Yes, he should challenge some of those.
And he doesn't say anything. You know what I'm saying? As soon as they say style, Cam, see, because if somebody came up and said, Cam, you a 304 too. Oh no, see, I'm a man because a man. No, man, your behavior is a 304. I think because we see it on YouTube all the time. A regular dude. Let's just take it away from Cam. A regular dude with 4 or 5 baby mamas. What is he? Why does the money change it?
The money doesn't change it. Well, I should say the money changes it if he's taking care of the kids.
Okay, but a regular dude can be taking care of the kids too. He just ain't giving them $5,000.
Not these regular ass dudes.
But you can't say that. You can't say that.
They can't afford to take care of 4 or 5 kids.
But if they only got to pay $200 a month, they
ain't taking care of no goddamn kids.
It's for the kid. It ain't for the mama.
If you giving it to the mama, it's for her. You don't know what's happening to it. I mean, I hear what you're saying.
He has the money to get. He's giving women money. He's not going to child support. He's just breaking off bags. Yes, but
I'm just trying to say
he's still making babies. He just made another baby.
Because he could afford to. And I think you're right, though. You're right, and I think we could both be right in a situation that a man who's not rich, but he still has some connection with the kids. That's right, but that's a far cry for saying I'm taking care of a kid. Well, taking care of a kid means you're taking care of all their needs, all of them, not just because you see them once in a while. You know, so the fact that so what I'm saying is his money allows that money allows him to be present even when he's not.
Yeah, but he's still not there. A dude that may not have as much money.
Well, if you work hard, you ain't there, man. Any man who works hard is not always around his kids. This is a fallacy.
But I think what I'm saying is you get off work at 5 o'clock. Most people get off work at 5 o'clock.
It depends on what job you have.
Well, most people got a regular job. I think most people ain't got all these.
But we're not talking about most people. We're talking about guys who have multiple kids, right? We're not talking regular people is not a part of this discussion. We're talking about people who have multiple kids, and and what's the equalizer?
But what I'm saying is those children still suffer more emotional damage than a father with less money who can see the child regularly.
Just because you're talking about one kid, yeah. If you're talking about 5 or 6 kids, no.
But he has 5 or 6 kids. He
can pay for those kids, though.
But he can pay for them.
Those kids.
He's not being around the kids. But he's not around all his kids. He's working all the time. He's not around
the kids. Live with Cam Newton.
Most of them, not all of them. The ones that don't,
no, just 1 or 2. But they live with Cam Newton. They're with him most of the time. And so he got to. If that was just one woman, he wouldn't see those kids any more than he's seeing them now, because he's working. In those high pressure jobs, your kids are just not gonna be around. So this is a fallacy that they gotta be up under you every second is crazy. I didn't have this glamorous job, but I was out of town for 10 years stretch. I was out of town for at least 2 months, 2 weeks out of a month.
But you still came home.
Yeah, but that's not the point. I wasn't around them all the time. So you had to work.
It's a difference when you married, though. When you're not married, only thing I'm saying is this: yes, he has the means financially. Yeah, he can put him in stuff.
Same thing with the other dude.
But that doesn't save a kid emotionally.
I disagree. You don't know that. You're making a statement.
I work with people who had. I'm telling you from experience that I work. Now listen, these guys that move like that are far and few between.
Are they rich? Are you talking about rich men? Are you talking about rich men or guys off the street?
Rich men that move like that, as we see, the ones that are being, I guess, made public, most of them are black men. The ones that move like that, they black men. We don't hear the stories where a white man has 4 or 5 different baby mamas around the country.
Like Brady had two, one before.
But I think he was married though. He's married divorced. That's the difference.
I don't think he was married to the first chick.
Okay, so Brady, maybe 1 or 2, but he doesn't have 5 baby mamas.
But what was it? Bezos? No, fucking what's the name? the genius guy, right? The Doge dude. He has a whole bunch of baby mamas.
But that's still like a few, like maybe 8. I'll say.
Well, I'm just trying to say, I don't know if he's taking care of all of his kids either, man. You know what I'm saying? But he might be, and if he is, it's because of his money, because he can't be around them.
Right. But that doesn't negate the emotional struggles that they still have.
They may have emotional struggles. That just because he ain't around them doesn't mean if he's involved. Listen, what's his name? What's the guy's name? Nick Cannon. I think he'd argue with you tooth and nail that the fact that he's all around the place with his 12 kids, that he's not involved and they all have most emotional problems. I think he'd argue with you on that.
But he's admitted that. Huh? He's admitted that, you know, it's a struggle that he can't be there.
But he didn't say because they have emotional problems. He has a personal struggle.
But over time, but this is the thing, most kids, especially around preteen years, what's more important is the time that you can give them than the money. They don't, because they're not getting the money directly handed to them. They're just reaping the benefit of what the mother may do.
I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I think you're tying. So I think if you live on an inner city or places where the pressure is heavier, and you got a kid who needs, because all kids don't need the parents to be around them, like you're saying.
What you talking about, man? You talking about from our day? These kids today,
listen. I mean, but he's got all these. The women are there. He's still involved, and I think if the shit was falling down, I think we hear about some of it.
I'm saying these women ain't engaging with the kids either. That's why they struggling. They sitting over on their TikTok on their phone.
I think we're mixing the kind of women. We're mixing all these women in one pot. I think money has a lot to do with how the kids are being taken care of. I think money is probably the primary factor that changes the fact that if I have 10 kids and I ain't got no money, those kids are definitely going to be fucked up. And if I got millions of dollars, the chances of them being fucked up is a lot less, because I could take care of their emotional needs even if I had to pay for it.
Well. Okay, we'll see.
So we can agree.
We're gonna track their kids, because we're gonna be on YouTube in 10 years. And 10 years it'll be right on that. It'll be right over on Shannon Sharp's chair. My daddy, Nick Cannon, wasn't in my life, and I am struggling.
The money
life was so hard.
The money meant something. The money, I needed him, not the money. God damn it!
He gave my mama $10,000 a month, and that was not enough, and I was struggling. That's what they're gonna be doing, man.
Okay, well, like 50 cents, son. You know,
great show, man. Appreciate you always. Always. I'll be back next week.
Yeah, later, bro. All right. Oh man, so we didn't even get to the Jake Paul fight. But the fact is, this shit is going to be a farce. Tank Davis is like 50 pounds lighter than Jake Paul, right? So whatever kind of exhibition they're going to have, it's on Netflix. And if you have Netflix already, I'll probably watch it because it's on Netflix. But I don't think that I would actually get a subscription to Netflix just to see this goddamn fight. But you know what I mean? I gotta also say that Netflix has done a tremendous job taking over the industry as the #1 premier streaming platform out there. In the midst of all the competition that's out there, they're head and shoulders above all the rest of them. And they've been around when all of us, if you're over 20 years old, if you're not 20 years old, if you're over 21 years old, you had a chance to get Netflix when it was under $100. I had it when it was under $100. I knew about the innovation. I should have just packed away $2,000-$3,000 worth of it and never looked at it again. Now it's selling for $1,223 a share as of close of business today. So there you have it. Some things, if you're ahead of the game, you should take advantage of. And Netflix was one of them. You know, so the chances are, you know, to 5 years from now, 2 years to 5 years from now, it'll be selling for over $2,000 unless they have a split. And I'm surprised they haven't had a forward split so far already. Another one. Anyway, so that's pretty much, we got boxing left, and we go just kind of round out the show. And we had that nice discussion with Coach Ferg about the kids. Of course, he's right about some of it, but I don't think it's one size fits all. I think kids are more resilient than we give them credit for. Anyway, the next big fight, man, is soon, man. Bud Crawford is just, the September 13th is right around the corner. I don't think I am going to do pay-per-view, but I'll be paying attention to that fight one way or the other. As soon as it's available, I'm going to watch it. Then anyway, the next day, the Japanese monster, that dude is something else. So that's another good fight. The Tank Davis, Jake Paul fiasco is, I don't even know why they're even having that goddamn fight on. He was supposed to fight somebody this month, and Tank Davis didn't do it because I think they're paying him probably some astronomical amount of money. They call it an exhibition only because it's not going to count against their records. That doesn't mean they're not going to be throwing punches at each other. So it's really, the exhibition just means that it's not going to be counted. Whoever loses, it's not going to be an official count in their record, whatever that means. If I see you get your ass beat, whether it's on your record or not, I know you got your ass beat. Then, of course, David Benavidez, who's really the person that Canelo is ducking. Well, we may never see him fight Canelo Alvarez. Alvarez doesn't want any part of this man. I think for any amount of money. And then Anthony Yardy, I don't know who that is, but he's probably a decent fighter. If he's brave enough to fight Benavidez, he might have some shit with him. So, next Wednesday, when we come back, I'm going to make some kind of judgment on who I think is going to win. Next Wednesday. I might have another week too. Right? Yeah, the 10th. So I got 2 weeks. To kind of figure out a little bit more of who I think is going to win this mega fight between Alvarez and Terrence Bud Crawford. I've seen them stand close to each other, and I'm surprised that Canelo is not. He's been at his size and weight longer, but he doesn't dwarf Bud Crawford, and he's putting on weight now. If he, I don't know if Bud Crawford took his punching power with him. But the chances are he didn't. I've seen him fight at middleweight. He looked like he couldn't hurt this guy at all. So we'll see, because Canelo, if he can't do anything else, he could take a punch. Anyway, so that's going to end it there. Like, share, and subscribe when you see this on the replay. If you got this far, if you got this far, you owe it to yourself to like it and come back, and all that kind of stuff. And leave some comments. Because I try to cover a lot of bases. You can leave comments, complaints, whatever you want to do. Leave something in the chat, in the comment block after you see this, and I'd appreciate that. Helps everything out. Fair use for all of the information I use. So, and we're going to say good night from On the Swivel at the Sports Bar, and we're out of here.
Grab your friends, it's time to play. Join the fun, we're here all day. Watch the game with drinks in hand. On the swivel, let's take a stand. On the edge of our seats, we live for the thrill. In this moment together, we're feeling the chill. So here's to the laughter as we gaze at the stars. We say goodnight from the swivel at the sports bar. In the flicker of the screens where our spirits ignite, let's cherish this time as we fade into light. Tasty bites and big screen thrills. Every moment gives you chills. High fives and cheers, it's quite a sight. Join the crowd, it feels so right. As the game goes on, our hearts beat as one. Memories in the making, oh, this night's just begun. So here's to the laughter as we gaze at the stars. We say goodnight from the swivel at the sports bar. In the flicker of the screens where our spirits unite, let's cherish this time as we fade into light. So good night, my friends, till we meet again in this world of the game. Through thick